very hard to wash off.
We have dedicated our whole lives to studying the paranormal. Now there's sightings all over the city. There are people out there that need our help. Holtzman, you're a brilliant engineer. Aaron, no one's better at quantum physics than you.
You know,
We can provide a
how y'all
real
doing
service.
today? Y'all, anything I should ask y'all before we start?
Anything you got to tell us?
Oh shit!
I'm scared.
Ask us.
I don't like this music, man.
Well, that means that there's spirits afoot, Martin.
Oh shit!
That's all right.
You know, get that Ghostbusters walk. You mean that
The cartoon?
Yeah. that overly animated walk.
Yeah, you know, you mean that cartoon when that Ghostbusters was Jive walking down the street? I used to love that shit, man.
Does he not have a name?
Logo. There he is right there. Motherfucker pimp walking down the street. Yeah. Excuse me. You know, Ghostbusters, man. It's got a lot of memories for people out there. Many incarnations have been done about the Ghostbusters. A lot of them. And you know, most people haven't even complained about it. But once you put a little estrogen in there,
Yeah, I don't like that.
once you put some female parts up in there, people go off. They get raw about it. As they said, one of the funniest lines in the movie to me, like, ain't no bitches gonna hunt no ghosts.
That was the greatest line.
I love it. So, you know, there's been a whole controversy about this. Man, why y'all shoving feminism down my throat? Can't I just get my Ghostbusters the old-fashioned way with a big bowl of dick? You know, that's pretty much what y'all saying. That's pretty much what y'all saying. Y'all don't, you know, y'all love women until, you know, they come in and do something kind of cool and y'all want a big old penis with it.
Without latent homoerotic tones, I can't enjoy it as much.
I can't stand it. Even if the movie's similar to what you have out there, you don't like it. And really, this Ghostbusters of 2016 is not too much different from what you had before. Not really, besides, you know, vagina up in there. But other than that, it's not too different. You have here New York, where it was before. New York starts to experience a sudden and mysterious series of ghost sightings. And now here's where it veers off. You get only two women, Dr. Erin Gilbert and Dr. Abby Yates, played by, what's your girl's name?
Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig.
Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy, respectively. They're the only ones who kind of are aware of what's happening right here. They've had experiences before. Now they're joined by a wacky spectral weapons inventor, played by, what's her name, Kate McKinnon?
Yeah.
In the movie, she's Jillian Holtzman. And they're also joined by the friendliest MTA servicewoman in New York who knows the city better than most people. And that's, what's her name?
Leslie Jones.
Leslie Jones. Just test y'all, see if y'all don't wait. But can they get the average New Yorker to believe them that they're not kooky, crazy, ghost hunting people? Mm-hmm. Can they get the New York people to believe in them before the whole city is plagued by benevolent spirits? And I'm gonna tell you something about this now. I'm not taking any sides on any of this. You know, I ain't got no ghost up in this fight, Martin. I can kind of see both sides of everything right here. I understand the backlash, because let's just admit it. I mean, whether you want to backpedal or not, let's all just agree that trailer was not too good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that trailer was really bad.
It was two bad trailers. Actually, the first one misled people to thinking like this was going to be another sequel.
Right.
Which it wasn't. Even Melissa McCarthy had to say, what the fuck are y'all doing?
Wasn't that the one that had Answer the Call or something?
Yeah, exactly. And then they released another, all right, we clarified it's a reboot, but y'all still had shitty jokes up in there.
Okay, you sweaty freaks, I'm about to save you from this guy. Ah! Okay, so I don't know if it was a race thing or a lady thing.
Nope, still don't believe, still not buying it. It still looks like bullshit to me. And like I said, I don't blame people because, I mean, for one, and we got to admit that, who can actually come in and replace the chemistry that we had with the original Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters.
Hey, anybody see a ghost?
They catch the ghost that won't stay dead.
You know, we're talking about these guys, Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd, who wrote the movie, got the buddies in there, Bill Murray.
And that's Bill Murray at the top of his power.
And that's Bill Murray at his prime. And I even throw Ernie Hudson in there. They said, we just need a black dude in here. We don't know him, but hey, we'll take one.
We got to meet criteria.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We got a quota to get here. Some other people, who was the little nerdy guy in there?
Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis. A lot of these guys, they already built up a lot of chemistry before this project. They knew each other from Saturday Night Live, Second City Television.
Second City TV, yeah.
And so this movie is successful because it's one of the most successful movies at being able to improv because it's just with those friends where they ain't about the ghost.
No, they could have been doing anything. They could have been scuba divers.
Exactly. But I'm going to tell you this. That's still kind of bullshit right there because as Martin has tried to tell y'all over and over again, for all y'all who are mad about, man, they changed the Ghostbusters. They didn't change shit. They just put women in there. Think about it. Think about how I'm talking about, y'all don't even know, I'm talking about true old school Ghostbusters fans were back when they had a gorilla.
This is my Ghostbusters.
That's your Ghostbusters.
We're the Ghostbusters. I'm Spencer. He's Tracy. I'm Carl. We're the Ghostbusters. We're clever, courageous, and strong.
It was still stupid as fuck.
What the hell is that? It was a Saturday morning cartoon and live action show, and it would come on toward the end of the it was, I guess around like the 9 o'clock. Like most of the cartoons you liked had already come on.
Yeah.
And you were like waiting out that point till Fat Albert came on. So this would come on that time.
This came out 9 years before the Ghostbusters that you know from '84. It was 1975, and this is by Filmation, the animation company that did Fat Albert and a bunch of other stuff.
But Sid and Marty Krofft was doing live action shows, so they figured like, hey,
they
you
were
might as well
doing
do
live
something.
action shows, and look, I'm gonna tell you, I can see why they remade it. Actually, it's a whole coincidence that they even had to go in and
clarify
and get the title and everything. I mean, because look, I don't blame people for saying, all right, at least Ghostbusters, the one from '84, did something different because that show was a piece of shit.
Oh yeah, it was horrible.
Hey, Kong, you should have seen me and Tracy at the bowling leagues last night, right, Tracy?
Well, if you two bowl like you do Ghostbusters, I'm glad I wasn't there.
Oh, yeah? Well, it just so happens that Tracy here bowled a perfect game. 300 pins.
When a lot of people have done that.
With one ball?
That stupid ass laugh track. Like anybody be laughing at that shit right there.
I mean, it was just grabbing those two guys from the show F Troop. It's like, oh, you guys got chemistry. We'll put you in a show. You're cheap.
And a motherfucker in a gorilla suit. For some reason.
Because that was during a time when gorilla suits were popular.
Yeah. If you didn't have a gorilla in your show.
Wait, that was a thing in the 70s and 80s?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of shows, yeah.
You never saw that police drama with a gorilla that solved crimes?
That episode of Wonder Woman where she fought a gorilla. It was a guy in a gorilla suit.
Man, they had, no, he's not lying.
No.
They had serious soap operas where a gorilla broke loose from the zoo and stole a woman.
And apparently, I know y'all want to go into the nerdy history of it, but there's only like 5 gorilla suits, and they were prized possessions that would go around to all these shows.
We got to get one. Get on eBay. Let's find that
You know how
shit.
deteriorated and sweaty those things would be.
got balls sweating in and everything.
They also made an animated version of this.
Oh, that's the thing about this. That's the reason why you got the real Ghostbusters, because the whole mix-up of you had the Ghostbusters from back in the day with the live-action one, and then it's just a coincidence that the Ghostbusters that we know today, they had a bunch of names like Ghost Stoppers, Ghost Fuckers, I don't know. And then they said, and then somebody came with Ghostbusters and it's like, excuse me, they already got somebody with that name. And they had to pay for the rights. So they bought the rights from Filmation, and Filmation let them make the movie. And when the movie was a hit, they like, shit, we gonna make some money with this.
Let's go!
Also, an equally piece of shit right there.
Oh, yeah.
I knew it existed, but I never watched any of it.
Oh, no, I watched that thinking it was the other one. I was like, oh, we're about to see some... Wow, they fucked me over.
No, they got to do shit they couldn't do in the live action one, but it was still a piece of shit. It was bad. It was really bad. Just a little bit of nostalgia for you folks out there. So here's y'all talking about, man, they changing my Ghostbusters.
It wasn't your Ghostbusters.
Martin been over here crying for months. He's like, well, where's my gorilla at? Martin.
It wasn't named Tracy?
Yeah.
Where's Tracy?
Yeah, when Leslie Jones showed up, I thought, oh, they're doing my Ghostbusters.
Oh, no.
Oh, come on. You were going to say it if I did.
I was not ever going to say that, Martin. I was never going to say that shit. Excuse my racist friend on my self-hating hating black friend over here who can't tell the difference between a monkey suit and a lovely lady. But Martin's like,
why'd you just throw it on?
Martin's like, ain't that 2016 right there? Martin, you shame. You a shame, Martin. And you know what? In second thought, fuck Martin. Don't you give him that gorilla. All he's gonna do is some racist shit with it. But here's the thing about this movie. You know, this is we had a lot of sexism come in with this, and let's not pretend like it wasn't. You know, let's not pretend like people weren't mad because it was women. I get some of the anger, but we know what was up with some trolls out there. And so I'm happy to come in and say that the movie was off to a very good start. I thought it was very funny when it began. I mean, one of the things that I like about this is that what chemistry we're talking about with Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Harold Ramis, and even Ernie Hudson, this movie in the beginning felt like that. You had Kristen Wiig and Kate McKinnon and especially Melissa McCarthy. Melissa McCarthy comes in and she's pulled back. She's more of a den mother in this movie. Kristen Wiig, she's actually playing this nerdy but not real goofy character. And what they're doing is because it's so kind of pulled back a little bit, it's concentrating on that relationship, that camaraderie between these Ghostbusters.
Well, just like with the original Ghostbusters, because Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy have worked together before, they have real chemistry. Like they're separated and they're angry at each other, and then they come together. Once they decide to work together, it's instantly the movie is just about them.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, honestly, Kate McKinnon, she's kind of in the way. She's got this goofy character that I was just like, wow, you kind of don't know what to do here.
Dude, she was my favorite character in the movie. Oh yeah, I love Kate McKinnon.
I'm looking at you like, what?
She's concerned.
Excuse me?
I felt nothing.
And Leslie
with her.
Jones, like, call me a gorilla again, motherfucker.
Actually, I like Leslie Jones a lot. I mean, for her to come in, it's like she's the odd man out, and unlike being like, not like being like Ernie Hudson, where people go like, yeah, there was a black Ghostbuster, I guess. She really came in and owned her place.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I thought, you know what, she's kind of like Tracy Morgan, like she's going to be there, she's going to be funny. You can be funny also, but she's going to keep up with you, even if she's not part of your group. But I thought she integrated well and held her own. But yeah, I had a problem with Kate McKinnon the whole time.
Did you? I did not. I thought all of them at the beginning were getting along very well. I thought that they were pulling together and being a team, and I saw how this was coming together, even though I had some problems with some of them. I'll elaborate on that in a little bit. I thought that this was coming together very well from the human perspective of the movie. They even had some running jokes I like in there. They had that joke where Melissa McCarthy could never get that delivery service to bring her soup right. Mm-hmm. You know, I thought there was some, like, as far as running jokes in there, cool. And some, you know, and I'm going to say not every supporting character works in this, but there are some that I like a lot. Mainly that of Chris Hemsworth as Kevin. That's his name in the movie, right?
Yeah, Kevin. Yeah.
Kevin is so fucking retarded in this movie. It's like he should be a ghost because he shouldn't even be alive right now.
Right.
He should have walked into a manhole a long time ago.
Or just forgot to breathe.
Oh, yeah. Man, he is that dumb. He should be wearing diapers in adult care right now. And normally a character like that, I look at that and I say, because we've seen characters that have been played too dumb in movies. But for some reason, Chris Hemsworth, he's a goofy character that is not played goofy. He's so earnest with what he says.
And it's also implied that he's just so handsome. That's how he's gotten by in life.
Yeah, nobody's told him, like, no, you're doing this wrong. I'm like, no, you got it. Keep going.
Let me help you.
He's a typical blonde.
Yeah.
Everybody let him get by without letting him like have to think about anything, and they have just stunted his mental growth. But he's a
Mimbo.
Yeah, exactly. But he's so earnest, he's so serious. But he believes every dumb piece of shit that comes out of his mouth, and he sells that character.
Ghostbusters.
Conductors in the metaphysical.
Okay, cool. See ya. Hey guys, which one of these makes me look more like a doctor?
Who was on the phone?
The Stonebrook Theater. There's a goat on the loose.
I just want to give him a juice box and a coloring book and give him a hug, but that would be too advanced for him. So, you know, you got to be careful. But
he'd probably eat the coloring book.
He'd eat the book and try to color the glass and juice. You know, this dude is he's very funny. It's one of the most endearing performances I've seen from Chris Hemsworth. And I tell you, a lot of people they're nitpicking on the movie in some areas too. Like I know. And I know you were telling me the other day that you hated that song in the movie.
Man, that Fall Out Boy Missy Elliott remix.
Elliott? Man, once it's in the movie, I didn't even notice. Man, it's a remix of the original Ghostbusters song, but once they started going, I didn't care.
I'm going to load up the car.
Okay. Look at this beauty.
I fixed it.
Yeah.
Man, this is so inappropriate for this vehicle.
Oh, we have fun.
Yeah, I didn't even notice it.
I didn't even notice it.
It's just like typical movie music.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, did you want to?
Sorry. I'll let you.
Next time.
I'll let you know. They put it in the movie well, but listen to the song by itself, and then you'll be like,
No.
all right, this is garbage. Exactly. Exactly.
But there's no reason for me to do
Yeah,
that.
you don't need to do it, but don't put yourself through that, man.
I heard it already. I'm good.
No, exactly.
It's good in the
You got them
movie.
talking over and it turned down. Listen to it by itself, you be like, all right, I understand now.
I'm all right, man. It's good. You know? But I will tell you this. It is about at that point where the movie Everything I Feared started to come to fruition.
Yeah, at the point when they started busting, they were just more like busters, not Ghostbusters.
People, look, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I told you, I don't care. I'm all about quality. I'm all about my opinions about a movie. I don't care what y'all casted in there. It could have been 4 gay dudes Ghostbusting now. I don't give a fuck.
Idea.
Ectoplasm.
No. There we go. Everywhere. Yeah. There you go, 2032, gay Ghostbusters. But and what y'all do for some? But up until then, man, right now, that's where this movie starts to really bust at the seams here. This movie starts to y'all. No, shut the fuck up. Y'all know I didn't mean anything.
Shut up, nothing. You did that shit on purpose.
I didn't. Did they get it? but you say busting makes me feel good. But if the hell are you doing over there? Busted up this fucking studio is what you doing.
We'll try to move like he ain't do nothing.
I know.
It's like a cat that slips off of a stool.
Yeah. Did you see him cross his legs and everything? Like, what was that?
Do continue, sir.
Must have been a ghost. I don't know. so you, man. But at that point, the more this movie starts to be a blockbuster, where they start to bring the effects, where they start to actually force some things, is where it really starts to show its weakness. The biggest of that is that one of the things that bothers me, if you're gonna do a reboot, or if you're gonna do a remake, a reimagining, and if you're gonna anything, then be confident in it. Stand on your own. This movie wants to be. They're telling you how we got our own thing going on. We're the new Ghostbusters. We can stand on our own. No, you cannot. Because this movie spends so much time throwing back to the original. I mean, there's dialogue, there's jokes, there's cameos that are going on. This movie does not have the confidence to be its own thing.
Yeah, for all of you who wanted a reuniting of your old Ghostbusters to come back, they're there.
Yeah, exactly.
Surprise.
You get them all, the original cast.
Yeah.
Except one.
Well,
I mean,
he was one of the ghosts.
I mean, there's some shit that is so forced in this movie. I mean, some things that don't. Now you know why I'm know about fan service.
Oh my God!
Because
dude, every 10 minutes in this,
the whole,
something.
The whole second half is just fan service. The movie.
It's fan service, and I mean they forcing some shit. I mean, you got somebody like I ain't afraid of no ghosts. It feels so awkward when they try to do that. It is. It's bad. It's
cringeworthy.
Yeah, exactly. I did that. And I'm just like, I mean, I felt nervous. I mean, I felt embarrassed hearing some of this stuff right here. You know, and some of the cameos in here, they even, I mean, they're telegraphed really far. There's only one black person in the movie, so you know what the connection is with Ernie Hudson. Yeah. You know. I mean, they make a big build up on that. Like, we know when you gonna come out in this. We know who you talking about. We know who you related to.
Wasn't it after the credits?
No, it was near.
Okay.
It was near.
At the very tail end.
Yeah.
End of the movie. Like, all right, and cut. No, he's right over there. Okay, all right. Keep filming.
Showed up.
Yeah.
He just stole my car and showed up. I'm here. So keep filming.
Hey, did I miss anything?
I brought it back. Don't call the cops.
The movie done yet? Yeah, Ernie Hudson was running on CPT time. but you know, we okay, so some of those cameos, look, I'll let them go. I'm like, all right, I don't really like them. I wish actually none of them have happened, but some of them were okay. None of them are great. Some of them are all right, interesting, all right, whatever. Just do your thing, get the hell on out the way. But Bill Murray, as your boy, the RZA said, fucking Bill Murray?
Yeah.
Bill Murray, the ultimate cameo. I mean, he came on, when he came into the movie, man, everybody laughed. They're like, oh shit, he got a funny hat. You know, he got that Bill Murray smirk. Oh, he about to say something crazy. And his was the worst it was the most horrible cameo in the movie. They didn't even use him for a joke. They used him for like a piece of storytelling that went nowhere.
Yeah. He was a set piece, basically.
But the thing is, by the time he came on, because it was starting to do this. It was starting to tank, especially by the time he got there.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed how the editing was so shitty on this movie. I mean, it's kind of bad even in the good parts. But once it got to that point, all of it was horrible. And it was so many places where it felt like they cut right where a punchline was supposed to be. And with his, it felt like there was supposed to be a punchline there, and they just cut it. And all the action stuff just cuts from one thing to the next so quickly. It just felt super choppy. And somebody would be here 1 minute and over there, and it was daytime, and then suddenly it was the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And then the next scene.
Oh, there was a scene in the middle of the night, and they cut after they were done doing some big shit. It was noon.
Okay, I thought about that too when we were watching. I was like, maybe what was happening was something was blocking out the sun.
So
but I was like, all right, I kind of let it pass. But if I have to think that hard about it, you probably shouldn't have put it in the movie.
Well, okay, so here's the thing about that though. Like, even if that had happened, like there were lights on in the buildings, like street lights on, and street lights don't come on until it's actually nighttime.
It was obviously night, and if for some reason it just jumped to day, they really don't start to think about it. They lack everything. Because here's the thing about the film. I'm glad you brought the editing, because one thing with the editing, you're right. They would say something, they would just end right after a punchline. They let it really sink in. And here's what I really hate about this kind of comedy: the reason why the chemistry is not there is because once they start to pile on a lot of the stuff that is summer blockbustery, then that's when the movie starts to become more sketch comedy instead of improvisational comedy or relying on the chemistry of these characters. That's when you start to get things like one of the things I hate in comedies like this is where they do the awkward reaction shot, the mugging shot, with somebody saying something, they cut somebody like, you know, they roll their eyes, you know. I hate that kind of shit. It feels very amateurish to me. And when you look, I don't normally do this. I would love to like let this movie stand on its own. But if you're gonna really throw back to the original that much, let's just say why this isn't working. And it's what a lot of people feared, minus those, the people with their sexist agendas here. A lot of people had valid points where they said, I'm afraid that you're going to come in and you're going to try to be so much like the original instead of being your own thing, and you're not going to be able to do it because you're not going to be able to be those guys. That movie was written by Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd. This is written by somebody else in the movie.
I saw her name. She actually played a small part in here.
She was the realtor. The realtor in this. Yeah,
Kate Dippold.
Kate Dippold. Yeah. Kate Dippold wrote this. She has a small part in the movie. That's the problem with this. If you can't stand on your own and you can't be as strong as the movie before, a classic, then pack your shit up and go home.
Well, I think her and Paul Feig also did The Heat together.
Yeah,
that she wrote. Did you ever see The Heat?
No, I didn't.
Because The Heat it's a lot like this in that it's a buddy cop movie with two women instead of two guys, instead of Kevin Hart and somebody.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's one of Melissa McCarthy's movies it's not one of the terrible ones, but it's not really that good. And a lot of it is the editing or how it plays in a genre, and it's good with the back and forth of the improvising. But when you get to what actually makes this genre what it is, it's like somebody who doesn't really know what they're doing or doesn't respect it. So they think like, well, how hard can it be? We'll just throw some things in, some special effects, blah, blah, blah. There you go. As opposed to somebody who knows, no, this is what you have to do, and you have to dot your I's and cross your T's and make sure this works.
Yeah, and here's one of the things. I'm just going to be honest with you right here. This movie is heavily flawed. I don't care what you're coming in here with, but it's a heavily flawed movie, and I think one of the best things to happen to this film, it's going to sound sexist of me, but I'm being serious about this. I think the best thing that happened to it is they had those internet trolls out there. I think because a lot of people, because it's not a complete train wreck, because it's not a complete disaster like people wanted it to be, like there actually are some good moments here, some people are going to be happy about that. And they're just going to want to come in and defend it because it's got some decent parts in it. There's going to be a lot of people come in and be like, all right, you know what? Just to to tell those trolls out there to suck it, I'm going to come in and give an okay movie, a little bit more of a pass.
Right, right.
Because I'm going to tell you something. I see just a little bit of hypocrisy right here. A lot of critics and journalists have been complaining about, oh, here we go again. And, we get climax where they bring in the special effects and they blow up the city. I mean, how many times y'all complain about blowing up fucking New York? And in this movie, that's exactly what they do. Batman and Superman might as well be in the middle of this shit right here. This shit pours on every special effect that it has reserved for the film. It does the whole thing of destroying the city. I mean, they destroyed the city. You see buildings where people were probably in there, and a goddamn giant cartoon logo tears a fucking building up, man. And the other thing about this is that they don't even follow the rules of Ghostbusting that they set up before.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That like once you get to this part, they haven't set up rules. They haven't followed them, so there's no stakes. It's like, well, whatever we say we want to do, we'll just do.
Yeah, they're actually killing ghosts, but I don't know how you kill a ghost.
Yeah, they rope them and throw them, but they're not trapping them.
Ground. Yeah,
Like, how does this work?
But they never brought in the trapdoors to capture them. They just killed them mysteriously.
Yeah, that was really weird. Like we like, we need to have this when we catch this ghost, but when we get to the end, he's like, we could just kind of hit them against each other and they'll just disintegrate. I'm like, I don't think you know your own rules.
Yeah, they would just bowl them again. They would slam them to the ground and shit, and they just go up and puff the smoke.
Yeah, honestly, when it gets to this point, it's pretty much Pixels.
Yeah, ooh, wow, you know what?
Oh yeah. And that's sad, too, because Pixels is ripping out Ghostbusters.
Oh, you see, people, all shit is recycled everywhere, right from the ass to the mouth, and out the ass again.
Human centipede.
It's just one long tube.
It's the cinema human centipede right there. And look, when I say that this is something that's not a total disaster, and I mean, I'm giving it I'm being generous to it because there's one audience out there that I think actually would enjoy this, as like the people who are nostalgic for it, and kids, because this actually takes more from you saw the colorful ghost right there that we saw in that last scene. This really has more in common with the cartoon. I mean, it's very cartoonish. Mm-hmm. You see all kind of different ghosts like this right here, and they even have right there. What was the character's name in the movie?
Vikrant?
Yeah, they even.
It's not Egon.
I don't know.
Egon Schiele.
Yeah, I think so. Who's a Ghostbusters expert?
Egon Winston on the end.
Okay, Egon. Yeah, Kate McKinnon even has the Egon hairdo.
Right.
And so for little kids out there, I think it's okay. I don't think, because a lot of people are trying to give it a pass. You're saying, man, this time the ghost are really scary. No, the ghost is goofy as fuck. All right, come on. Let's stop.
I think for kids it'd be scary, but not so scary they'll have nightmares about it.
Yeah, it'd be fun scary.
Yeah.
And plus, you can even see in the movie where they're trying to actually, I don't know how many toys they have out there for kids, but they even create these weaponry that is, I mean, it's like weaponry that they're going to sell at Toys R Us.
This puppy I like to call a ghost chipper. Hollow laser technology sucks in the ghost and neutralizes it. Step up to bat and do what you're gonna do.
You truly scare me. I just want to let you know that.
Can I just... Oh, come on!
Oh, it's like Mardi Gras in there.
She got a frat boy between her titties.
It's like, well, does it work on ghosts? It's great for garbage.
Yeah.
We got to test it on this cardboard. Those aren't the same as ghosts. I don't know if you know this.
Oh, it'll work. Trust me.
And the other thing, too, with that scene right there especially is they show a scene in the movie where saying, hey, we're struggling for funding. We don't have all this stuff. But somehow y'all managed to make, multiple nuclear weapons in a manner of, in a week.
Yeah, and where are you getting, the stuff to make nuclear-grade weapons,
yeah,
man?
the Taliban can't even get their hands on it, but you can just get it at a swap meet or some shit.
Yeah, these chicks are goddamn terrorists, man.
Yeah, basically.
Shit, ISIS is calling in. You got fucking... Anyway. By the way, that's Taliban talk.
Spider holes. Bye.
But now I'm going to be on the terrorist list for that shit. But,
Great.
No fly list.
No fly list. Why can't I get on? Because you said...
You just said it.
Damn it.
But it's like I said, it's not a complete waste, I don't think. And there's two things that I'm split on in the movie. One of the things is what you made some really crude remarks about Martin, is Leslie Jones. Leslie Jones, I think she had some funny lines in the movie. In fact, she was saying things to people where I was thinking that shit at the same time. Mm-hmm. She told some dude, "Go on with your crazy ass." I said the same exact thing.
No, man, I love that scene with the ghost in the subway. He's like, oh, he's like, bye, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, I'd say that.
Yeah. But without a real balance there, and she being the only black person with them, she is kind of a stereotype. You know, I can almost every other line is kind of like, yeah, yo, the dude, or I saw that dude, and that dude came out the fucking ground. You know, it's
yo,
dude. You know, it's like, wow, man. I don't. She's very funny. She actually is one of the better characters in the movie as far as making you laugh. But as far as being a type, she really does stand out. And for anybody who had worries about her, I don't think you're gonna watching the movie is not going to change your mind.
They didn't like it. The one thing with her is that they didn't sample her up as much as we thought they were, especially with the trailer that we saw.
Yeah.
But it was still like hints of it there. It was peppered in there. And the other thing was with her, like it kind of seemed like, all right, we'll add her on, but we're really not going to have her build the chemistry with the other three. She was kind of like the odd person out. Like she came in and asserted herself, but she really wasn't. She didn't like, all right, gel with Kate and Melissa and Kristen.
Yeah. No, yeah. And it was weird how she just all of a sudden she was just wearing a Ghostbusters suit and a proton pack.
Yeah.
They didn't really bring her in or initiate her too well.
Well, no, she brought them the suits.
Oh, really? Okay.
She brought them the suits, but she didn't. Yeah, the proton pack thing, they had to give them to her.
Well,
she's like, I'm a Ghostbuster now. They're like, all right.
Okay, fuck it. She's awesome. The other thing is I'm split on the villain in the movie, man. The villain in the film is played by the Porno. Oh, come on,
damn, man.
It's a Porno Chris. Oh, come on, man. Come on. Although you made me laugh when you said that in the movie.
Yeah, I heard y'all over there.
I heard it too.
I know you heard it because you started laughing. He was whispering in this ear quiet. I heard you. But this actor right here. What was the actor's name? Do you remember?
I don't know.
I looked it up and I saw it. Now I can't remember. It's something simple.
Yeah, he's been in a whole bunch of stuff recently, and he's really funny in that stuff like Broad City. He's been in Veep, and he's like a really great comedian. But and I'm glad he's getting work. But this definitely wasn't the role for him.
Really? Because he was one of the things I liked the most.
Yeah.
He was just
the way he was so like not stand out, but just weird. Not very. He didn't monologue or anything. Well, I guess he did to himself.
Neil Casey is his name.
Neil Casey.
Yeah.
No, at a time when I was thinking like, I feel like this movie's going down, but he would pop up and make me laugh, and they didn't use him a whole lot.
Well, the reason why I'm split on him is because I think that as far as a villain goes, he's kind of weak.
Yeah.
I mean, his motivation is for the resources that he brought together to make it happen. I was like, no, man, ain't that dude a janitor?
Nuclear reactor.
Yeah. I'm just tired of people picking on me. That's it? Really? What's that?
You never saw him get picked on.
You heard it on the phone.
You heard it on the phone, but that was still kind of a weak thing. It's kind of like, okay, here's a glimpse of why we have him being like he is. They could have done a whole lot better. I was looking at the movie and I was saying it would have been cool had that. If this person is so powerful and he has the knowledge of, because that's all it is, he ordered a book off of Amazon. It's like, I can do what these Ghostbusters do.
Yeah.
But it would have been cool had it been a villain that worked with the Ghostbusters before they were the Ghostbusters and decided to take that technology and it's like, all right, I'm going to use it for evil. Now you got to get the Ghostbusters to stop him. Mm-hmm. Not the greatest plot line in the world, but better than what they had right here. But Martin, as far as that actor goes, he's funny as hell.
Yeah,
he was so Weasley and dorky, and he was so his social skills were so bad. That actor's funny, man. He just didn't have a good character, dude. But the actor's very funny.
He was able to do it in a way that I don't see often in the movie, but see way too often in real life.
Maybe that's what it is, because you remember with Spill, that dude showed up every week. Every Spill.com we had every party. I'm gonna tell you something. It's like I said, this is something that it's not a total waste. I think for those people who go in, and the people that go see a blockbuster just to get out of the house, go see a movie, it's just like any other film out there that does that. At the same time, it retains the mediocrity of every other film that's like that. This is not too different. And you know what? And that's what I mean by if you're consistent. If you're a moviegoer who's not had the same complaints that we've had, and you go see this, and you're like, hey, I had a good time. So be it. But if you're a critic who's complaining about the mediocrity of this kind of comedy, and also how these blockbusters are, this is the same thing. And I don't think it should get no matter what kind of social statement you're going to make by saying giving us a pass, it shouldn't be given that for that. I think it's a rental. It's just an average rental. I've seen this movie over and over again, and by the way, I've seen it better when it was done in 1984.
What was it called then?
What's that?
What was it called then?
Ghostbusters, man.
Okay, let's say that.
Ghostbusters. Thank you. Come on, like I can't hear you. Louder. Ghostbusters.
I think you're right, man. Mediocrity is the best way to describe this movie. Like, I think I liked it a little bit more. You guys said the first half you really enjoyed it, and the second half you didn't really dig. I like the first 2/3 of it because I was like, all right, like the first half was getting them together, the chemistry getting built, and them actually vibing off of each other and having some good, repertoire going in between them. And then in the second part, it turned into a little bit more of a horror movie when they went to the concert and had to get the green demon, and they had that mannequin scene, which I thought was actually really well done.
That was.
But once it got to that climax of we got to get to the end and all this, the particle effects and the big destruction of the city, the ghost monster showing up, that's when everything just fell apart. And with the first 2/3 of it, I was like, yeah, like I'm writing this is a solid matinee. I can get with this. Maybe it can get better or it can get worse. And it just flew off a cliff with the last third of this movie, man. And I could agree with you 100%, dude. This is a rental, an average rental.
Yeah.
It's kind of heartbreaking, really, because it was in the beginning with that first half, maybe even 2/3. But certainly the first third of those 2/3, I'm like, this is funny. It's not hilarious, but it's funny. And I felt myself wanting to give it extra points just because of the controversy. Like, yeah, man, fuck those misogynists and leftover Gamergate assholes. Gamergeek
is right.
Yeah. But there just came a point where I noticed, like, yeah, the laughs are kind of dwindling. And by the time it gets to the climax, there's none, except for Andy Garcia. Somehow they put Andy Garcia in as the mayor, and they found some funny stuff there.
Yeah.
But it was the non-Ghostbusting stuff that's funny. And for everybody who, was hoping to get a good Ghostbusters movie again, I guess you got to wait another 20 years or so, because this just wasn't it. And you hate for it's almost like a movie where everybody who had an axe to grind is right in some way. So if it's like that big fight of the century you were hoping for, you didn't get a definitive winner. It was one where the judges came out just saying like, it's a tie at best, or it was a decision was made, and some people said like we were robbed, and some people know we weren't. It comes down to being just a rental.
Yeah, people, and I don't want to. A lot of folks out there, like I said, if you're gonna watch this, and if your expectations were low, you're gonna be the ones to probably benefit the most. Your expectations got to be real low.
I mean, keep in mind, like especially with you say Leslie Jones, like I was sitting next to two Rumberg chicks, and they were getting.
So you were sitting next to
her.
Leslie Jones,
basically. Like say every time she came, the devil, like you see it in the trailer, she's like the devil is alive. It goes like, whoa, child, yeah, she is hilarious.
Yeah, you tell him.
I was sitting next to her. I was like, my God, kill me.
It's weird because it does have something for everybody. Like I'm not somebody who remembers the original Ghostbusters all that well, where you can remember stuff that was in the first one. So I was like, all right, I'm just watching as somebody who doesn't know, but like there's some people who are going to be like you, who love the old Ghostbusters and go like, nah, man, I've seen that before. Other people who loved it, who saw stuff from the old one, and they were clapping and cheering.
Yeah. Slimer pops up.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I've been waiting 20 years for this. Martin, but I'm still working on. We're gonna get you that gorilla, Martin.
We can borrow from Julian with his monkey in the gun.
It's bad when the Ghostbusters from 1975 looks more interesting than what we just saw. When a man in a gorilla suit looks way better than what we just saw. Maybe not.
Oh, but wait till they do the live action version of that one.
I would not.
You gonna see, son?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh. Did you want to?
Sorry. I'll let you.
Next time. Okay.
Someone is creating a device that amplifies paranormal activity. And we might be the only ones who can stop it.
Holtzman, come on.
The hat is too much, right? Is it the wig or the hat?